Welcome to another video where I have a look at the latest additions to my Depeche Mode collection, and I'll start with the CDs and then we'll move on to some vinyl. So the first one to show you out of the new acquisitions, shall we say, is a fat box of 101. This is the Japanese version, and yeah, it's missing the OB strip, which is a shame, but that did mean that I got this at quite a reasonable price. Inside is all the stuff I would expect to find in the Japanese version. So the first thing of note is a little card to send off. Not entirely sure what you're asking for. Maybe join the mute mailing list. Who knows? And then there's a booklet. This is unique to this Japanese release, a yellow booklet. Always some nice photos in. I'll just show you a couple. And it actually goes through something like personal facts, personal facts on each band member. So let's just have a look at what it says about Martin. Hair colour fair, eyes green, height 5'8", weight 10 stone, collar size 15.5. Parents' names David and Pamela. Birthplace London. Birth date 23rd July 1961. And it's got some bit of an essay in there as well. So it's some quite nice pictures in here. So that's just a taste of that booklet, and then there's another black booklet, which is the usual picture booklet that's included on the various CD versions. So that's in one side, and then you've got the disc. It looks very similar to usual 101 disc. So that's disc 1, and then disc 2. So that's very similar to the other packs. And then there is another booklet in here as well, and that's got all the lyrics in English and Japanese, which is pretty cool, on a kind of I think a recycled matte sort of greyish paper, as you can see. So that's nice, and it's also got an advert for some of the other mute artists as well. So Lie Back and Erasure, for instance, are in there. So that's the Japanese version fat pack of 101. And when was that done? Oh, yeah, it was 1989, so it's contemporary with the actual concert. The year before Violator came out. And staying on CDs, I picked up the Australasia version of the singles, 81-85. The tracks are the same as the usual release. The disc is interesting in that it looks a little bit like the kind of German blue stripe CDs. You can see this icon here. It actually says made in Australia on here. Tricky to find on Discogs if you look under Australia releases, because I couldn't find it matching, but then I opened it up to Australasia and I found the right version. The inlay card is identical pretty much to the versions in that it folds out. Shows the covers of the singles and a little bit of extra information at the back there. Yeah, and that came out in 1988, so it's actually a reissue 3 years after the fact on CD. And then moving to Australia is 1990 CD release of Violator from Australia. This was on Liberation Records. and there's the Liberation Records logo there. Difficult to see in this light. I'm filming in the evening now, and the sun's pretty much gone down. There's the CD, and again the Liberation logo is on there. Yeah, the camera's not going to pick it up very well. The inlay card. Let's take a look, because there's something quite funny about these inlay cards on Violator. I'm just going to check. So it's the usual black and white with the black and white photos. And what I was looking for is where it says the policy of truth instead of just policy of truth, and the sweetest perfection instead of just sweetest perfection there. That's a consistent kind of mistake as far as I can see across the board on all the CDs of Violator, that the track names aren't quite right. Although they are on the CD itself, it does say Policy of Truth, and it does say Sweetest Perfection without the word B in either title. So, Australian Violator, and then going back in time, got the Australian Black Celebration. This is a reissue from 1990. Again, it's on Liberation Records. It's the same little logo with the kind of aiming reticule on there. Reticule, is that a word? And then, as far as the inlay is concerned, yeah, it's quite standard with the lyrics in yellow inside, and no actual band photography on this one. This was a set of 4 CDs that I got off eBay. The 4th one was a bit of a disappointment, and I did get a partial refund on my purchase. So again, it's the Australian version. This is the 1997 version of Ultra, and the Liberation logos there slightly different on this. Problem with this one is when I open it up and look at the CD and I compare it to what I'm expecting to see from Discogs, it's not quite the right colour for a start. And looking at the the matrix information, it struck me as identical to the UK copies that I've got. So it's a UK CD, unfortunately, in the Australian case. So a bit of a misfire on that. The seller was quite apologetic and did give me a refund, so I'm not, they didn't, I just didn't realise. It should have, like, the serial number should include MUSH004, I think it is, or MUSH003, because it's a joint effort between Liberation Records, Mute, and Mushroom Records. Yeah, so it should be Mush 33002.2, and it's not. It's just the box standard Master Nimbus UK information. So that will be a placeholder. I may never get hold of an Australian copy of Ultra. I have hardly seen any Australian CDs on the market in the UK, and it will cost me an arm and a leg to get anything from Australia. So I pick them up as they come along. So slight disappointment, but as I say, I got my money back. And then on to what's lingering over here. Now, in my last video, I jokingly said I'm going to go and look for a copy of Get the Balance Right that isn't on blue vinyl from Germany, that hasn't got the numbers on the front, because if you watch my previous video, I've got a set of these limited 12 inches, and this was the one gap I had. So I went ahead and did a bit of a trawl and managed to find it in very nice condition, I have to say, for a very reasonable price. So this is int 126836 of Get the Balance Right, the original mix on the A side, and then on the B side that plays at 33 instead of 45, you've got My Secret Garden, See You, Satellite, and Tora, 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 recorded at Hammersmith Odeon in 1982. And they are great recordings, and so very pleased to get hold of that. And having added those to the collection, it soon became apparent, and it's something that's been coming up for a while. I've hit a kind of magic number of 1,000 items in my current collection. So I wanted to kind of mark the occasion and treat myself. So I did, and this is what I decided to get. So again, I may have mentioned this. In fact, I referred to it as Enjoy the Silence. I said, oh, it'd be really difficult to get the coloured vinyl of Enjoy the Silence, and I actually meant the coloured vinyl. I just can't get enough. And there was actually 2 coloured vinyls for this in Germany. One is grey and the other is white, and I managed to snaffle a white vinyl. So I'm very pleased about that. This is something that I've been kind of had my eye on for quite some time, and this actually arrived literally today, so this is why I'm making the video. And I haven't cleaned this yet, so it's got a little bit of dirt on it which might get picked up, but here is the latest edition, which I'm very pleased about. And it's got it just has it says it's a maxi single. It's not really. It's got Just Can't Get Enough on one side. It's a 6-minute 47-second mix, and then it's got Any Second Now on the B side, 5 minutes 43. So one of those rare coloured vinyls, which goes with the blue one of Get the Balance Right, the orange one of Never Let Me Down Again, and beyond that I'm not sure I have any more actual coloured ones that aren't the marbled 12 inches, because they are difficult to find, and because they're rare, they are quite pricey. So yeah, maxi single, Top Hit Alice England. So this is int 126801. It's got the old Walking Man logo on there as well. So this came out, it's a reissue, it came out in 1988, just for the record. So that's it for today. I've got a bunch of other deliveries coming my way soon. I've bought some Rage Against the Machine and some Delamitri in the meantime as well, but that's not what these videos are about. So thank you very much for watching, and tune in next time. Cheers.